Not a lot of people know what it feels like, do they? To be angry in your bones. I mean, they understand. Everybody understands. For a while. But then they want the angry little kid to do something he knows he can't do. Move on. So after a while, they stop understanding. I figured it out too late. You gotta learn to hide the anger. Practice smiling in the mirror. It's like putting on a mask. So you showed up this one day. A cool car, pretty girl on your arm. We were so excited. Bruce Wayne, billionaire orphan. I mean, we used to make up stories about you, man. Legends. And you know, with the other kids, that's all it was, just stories. But right when I saw you, I knew who you really were. I'd seen that look on your face before. It's the same one I taught myself.
What is up, the wonderful people of YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. But more importantly, welcome to the off season. Yes, so yeah, I'm super excited. 2 years of growing incoming, so stay around for the next 2 or so years until I step back on stage. This is technically week 2 of the off season, as week 1 was actually in the US. So or a combination of US and UK, but yeah, so post-show I had probably like 36 hours where I was allowed to eat whatever I want. I'll put sort of that reel right here, just so you can sort of see what I ate. Yeah, I had a bit of fun with it. I ate a lot of good stuff, but the best things, hands down, were a white chocolate macadamia nut cookie with a glass of milk. It was amazing. And then a slice of pecan pie. For those of you in the UK who haven't tried pecan pie, get on pecan pie. Unbelievably good. But yeah, because it was Thanksgiving, a couple of days after I left, all of the pies were out, so absolutely unbelievable pecan pie. But I digress. Enough of that. We're back to the routine, back to habit. So yeah, wake up, check in with Finn throughout this recovery phase. But I think I'll continue to post even in the off season like this. I think it's a really good habit to get into, and it's just part of my routine now. Then I get on my walk. I'll get back to some clients with some form feedback. Send through anything I need to send through to Finn. And then I'll listen to a podcast for a nice 20-minute walk just to get some steps in and get the body going, get the mind going. And then straight after that, we're into meal 1, so which I'm going to make right now. So little adjustment. It's pretty much the same meal, but little adjustment in that being more Jason's sourdough toast. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I'm going to crack on with that now. Plan for today, just take you through a full day in the life type thing. I got quite a busy day, so I don't want to spend too much time talking to the camera, but I also want to document what's going on. So yeah, I've got an afternoon full of meetings, both for my dissertation and then some other bits and bobs. And then yeah, this morning I'm going to head off to Starbucks to get some work done, because there's some work being done in the house, which means the house is getting a little bit loud. It's just easier to concentrate in a coffee shop. So yeah, a little bit of a different environment, a little bit of different work, and so on and so forth. And then I'll take you through a pull and leg session. But I wanted to talk about some of the lessons from prep, so I'm going to do a nice little voiceover there. So a little bit different, but pretty much the same. So I'm going to crack on with making this now, because I'm hungry and I want to get on with the day. But make sure you like, comment and subscribe early on. You know, get on it. You see that? It's a bit jammy. So it's still gooey. You got that nice layer of jammy yolk. Unbeatable. That's wicked. Yes, people, so very productive first work block of the day, and now we're on to pre-workout, which is a massive bowl of beef, rice, pickles, cucumber, teriyaki sauce, soy sauce, avocado. I think I've got everything. But yeah, this is delightful. This will be my forever pre-workout meal. Like some variation of this, whether it's 5% beef, 10% beef, whatever. Sushi rice, jasmine rice, it really doesn't matter. Some variation of this meal will forever be my pre-workout meal because I just think it's perfect. But yeah, it's kind of weird, like the fact that all the meals are the same, they're just bigger, and you don't feel any different. Like you're still just as hungry after you eat it, but it just looks so much nicer. And I do feel more alive, I do feel more energized, but at the same time I don't feel all that different, so it's kind of a weird one. Very nice for the eyes though, obviously. It's easy to eat. It's very easy. I see why people say post-prep is harder. Definitely think prep is harder, don't get me wrong. But I get why people say post-prep, because the temptation is always there, and you know, oh, I could just snack at this, I could pick at that. And there's not that like same level of stringency for most people. But I'm treating, like, I treat my life as prep, as in, like, everything is so routine. I just eat less and do more during the prep than now. That's it. But yeah, I'll crack on with this, and I'll see you at the gym.
Yes, people, so just like I said in the intro, this is a good opportunity to sort of debrief everything, go through some of the biggest lessons that I learned through 41 weeks of a natural bodybuilding prep, for the benefit of anyone else who is either about to compete, just started their first prep, and can provide some almost warnings to people in terms of what you're going to go through, how you're going to feel, and what the experience is like. First off, you're embarking on a journey of self-discovery. That's how I would put it. Like, if you're doing a prep for the right reasons, in terms of you're not just looking at it from an accolade standpoint, or maybe as someone who wants to make it big on social media or whatever it is, you're just doing a bodybuilding prep because either you love bodybuilding, you love the lifestyle, you're desperate to compete, and you're that competitive character, then like, you're gonna love it. It's one of those things where mentally it's challenging, and it's supposed to be hard. Like, that's something that a lot of people go in and they sort of forget that. Like, oh, I want to look good, I want to step on stage, I want to win some stuff, and then they forget that ultimately you're just going through something that is challenging. You're challenging yourself from a physical standpoint, from a mental standpoint, and you're going to doubt yourself, whether that's when you actually step on stage, or there'll be certain mornings you wake up and you think, oh well, look, I don't look that good. There'll be many mornings like that. You're going to have a lot of self-doubt, so continuing to persevere through those things is going to be vital to your success and your ability to stick through the prep, as ultimately so many people end up quitting their preps and they just give up. And part of that is is their why. So make sure that you reinforce what your reason for doing it is. Are you doing it as someone who wants to just make it big on social media, or are you doing it as someone who wants to push themselves and wants to experience something different, to challenge themselves in a different way? Remember your why, and ultimately if your why is strong enough, the how doesn't matter. The next thing is the how itself. Knowing when to push and when to pull is really important. Quite often it's actually having to pull back more than push on, especially as you get deeper into the prep and your body either stops responding in ways that you would have expected, or you feel like you're stalling. Quite often the opposite is required of what you think, and that's where, for me, having a coach came in massively. I know for me, if I saw, say, that my body weight wasn't dropping, and I can't look at myself objectively, I just can't. I struggled during prep with the sort of looking at myself in the mirror and going, I don't think I'm quite there yet, and having Finn in my corner was massive. So make sure that you have someone who can be objective about the way you look, but also have faith in, if you do have a coach, have faith in what they're saying and what they are suggesting, because there will be times where you think, oh, he's dropped my food, what's wrong with him, like I hate him, or what am I doing wrong? And you're not doing anything wrong. Like, the whole point is you're challenging yourself to get into the best shape possible, and that requires mental fortitude and some serious discipline, like not cheating, not having a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And it comes down to, like, you're weighing out your salad and you think, oh, well, I could just add another 50 grams, and no one would know. The only person that would know is you, and that's it's beautiful and horrendous at the same time. Beautiful because you know what you've done, and only you will know truly how much you've given. But horrendous because that temptation is always there, and especially in bodybuilding, where the details truly matter, and you being transparent with your coaches is ultimately going to dictate sort of how it goes and what the process looks like. Like, it's challenging, and having complete faith in someone else to make your decisions and to guide you through something that, like I say, is flipping challenging. It's daunting. Like I say, have faith, build trust with your coach over time. Once they trust you, so they know you're not gonna just cheat, or you're not gonna skip out on this and not do that, and then just nailing what they give you with full trust in what's going to happen. Because there were certain times where I doubted what Finn was saying, but we'd built a really good relationship in the off season, and having worked with him for a year pretty much prior to the prep was vital to that. So if you are going to get a coach, get one early, and build trust up, so that when you get into the prep, there's no questions of what you're doing and what he's capable of. Something that sort of comes into that is how you conduct yourself. Like, routine is everything, and that's something that I learned. If you are going to be productive during this time, and there will be like times where you're not productive, specifically when I say times, I mean times throughout the day. I knew as soon as I got back from training, not much was going to happen, because I'm just physically exhausted, mentally battered. So my mornings had to be as productive as possible. And as someone who was doing their dissertation throughout the prep process, like, you got to nail it. And when you have those 4, 5, 6 hours in the morning, you make the most of them, and then get what you can when you come out of it. And that's sort of how I treated it. And it's going to be so important when it comes to crunch time, when it comes to when you're eating your meals, like making sure that they're separated out, so one, you can manage hunger, but especially when it comes to things like going to bed, and then two, like being able to manage everything, because eventually you'll get to a point where steps are going to be really high. So you get to 15,000 steps in a day. Some people will go beyond that. That takes time. It's going to be challenging to manage everything, especially if you add that on top of someone who trains really hard for a couple of hours. Like, that time adds up, so you got to make sure that you're nailing it. And then when it comes to the food, like, you want your food to be as nice as possible. At least I did. There's different schools of thought in this. I'm someone who definitely believes that if you're going to eat a little bit of food, make that food nice. Like, spend time making it good. Like, that's why I started the whole pop in egg yolks. If you check out my Instagram, like, every morning I pop a yolk. And I take pride in making my food look nice and taste nice, because it was important to me. Like, during the prep, if I messed up an egg, I would actually get really upset, and I would just throw it away and start again. I think there was one morning where I tried to make my eggs 3 times, and they just didn't come out perfect. So I kept throwing them away. Awful. I resent that, but I used to get really upset about it. And that's something that you have to be aware of, is just that emotional sort of bandwidth that you have. But back to the food point, is other people will say you want to make it as boring as possible so you don't think about it. I think you're going to end up thinking about it regardless, and food focus is a thing. People will say don't allow yourself to be focused on food. It's going to happen. Like, especially if you get into sub 2,000 calories, you are going to be hungry. And you have to remember, hunger's a good sign. Like, I used to go to bed a little bit hungry. Some nights you go to bed starving. But you have to reinforce that that's a positive thing. I need to be hungry in order to lose weight. Especially in sort of natural bodybuilding. I think on the enhanced side, where your food can be a little bit higher, it's a little bit different. If you go to bed hungry, that's good. That's a positive thing. But there will be times where you will have a lot of, like, you will be hungry, and sleep does get disrupted anyway, but going to bed hungry definitely doesn't help that. So having a good final meal, I think, is important. And something that I did that really helped me is having that little pot of fruit every night, that little, like, sweet treat. I'm someone who has a bit of a sweet tooth and does get hungry in the evening, so that was really important for me. And I think that could be helpful to other people who sort of struggle with that. But then sleep's going to go in the bin. Like, I hate to tell you this, it's rough out there. Like, you end up waking up at 4 or 5 in the morning, especially towards the end of prep. Most mornings, I would wake up at that time, and your body, one, it's hungry, but two, it sort of wakes up and it's just ready to go, which sort of feeds really well into that productive side of things. Like, I'd wake up at that time and your body's just switched on, it's ready to go. Super productive in that time frame, which is interesting to know, and you can really lean into that. And like I said, I did, because I would be so exhausted towards the end of prep. And when it comes to the food focus side of things, like, try and minimize any social media towards food. I was pretty fortunate in the fact that I didn't really do that up until right at the end of my prep. Probably worse afterwards, because you can eat more, and I sort of allowed myself the mental release of watching some good food content. Like, beard meets food. Thank goodness I got into that after prep, because during prep it would have definitely been a negative on my mental. So that's something that was really important. Another big thing is not to take everything personally. So whether that's results when you actually do step on stage and start competing, or, like I said, when your coach changes things, adds cardio, takes food away, whatever it is, like, you have to remember it's not personal, it's just bodybuilding. Like, it's either just the process of bodybuilding or the results standpoint, but people can turn up and just be better than you, and you sort of have to live with that fact. There were some results that I was distraught by, but fundamentally there were people that were just better than me, and in all fairness, it's lit a fire. Like, all I want to do is get as big as flipping possible over the next 2 years and just chase down those guys. And then when it comes back, I know what I have to do. Like, I have to be leaner. That's not personal, that's just objective. my glutes didn't come in properly, and all of that stuff will be easier the second time around. And this has all been a massive learning experience. That's something that I'm thankful that I went in knowing, was that it's gonna be tough. That I've not done this before. I don't know what the process is like, and to be humble within it, and just embrace as much of it as possible. Something that people talk about is really being present. It's difficult. Like, it is really hard, because you get into the process of, I'm just going to go through thing after thing after thing, checking boxes, steps, cardio, eat, train, sleep, work, like all of these things. You just tick boxes, and that can mean that you lose presence, you lose sort of how you're actually feeling, and there's beauty in the struggle. There's beauty in feeling hungry, in feeling sore, in emotionally being up and down. Like, enjoy the highs and the lows of it. Like, there were some times where I just break down. Like, that happens. I'm not a big crier, at least not outside of prep, but during prep I cried a fair few times, over nothing, to be honest. There were some times it was after results, but most of the time it was just I was just emotionally battered, and being aware of that is important. So be aware that there will be times where you just break down, and there will be days where you don't want to talk to people, you don't want to do stuff, you want to sit in a dark room and just be. But it's important that you don't take it out on the people that are around you, and lean on them. Like, support is a lifeline. My family were massive throughout this prep, like huge, in terms of they would offer to cook meals and offer to do this and that. I never took it up, because I felt like I had to do it all myself. And as horrible as it sounds, I would always think, like, if I want it done right, I'd have to do it. And that might be right, it might be wrong. It's how I was. So, but them just being present and willing to help me was huge. So I massively appreciate them for that. And then, just don't be a dick. It's really easy to be a dick. Don't do it. that would be one of my biggest things, is you will have times where you will really dislike people, but you just got to try and be nice, be humble, and appreciate them and the moment that you're in, especially when it comes to actually stage days. Like, enjoy the fact, if you have someone there supporting you, just enjoy the fact that they're willing to spend the money, to be there, to take the time and enjoy the experience, especially if it's somewhere where you have to stay overnight. Enjoy an Airbnb or a hotel room, and enjoy the experiences. Take as much of it in as possible. Like, I would say, I did a lot of shows, and don't get me wrong, it's expensive, but if you can, do as much as you can. Like, it's a hell of an experience, and make sure that you're committed to it 100%. Like I said, no one's going to know if you skipped this or you didn't do that. Only you will know that. But then you'll come away and you'll either be disappointed that you didn't, or you get away with it, but it will feed into other parts of your life where you can skip things and not do what you're supposed to do, and it come up negatively. One of the biggest things that I learned as well is progression comes in so many ways. I got so attached to scale weight that it was probably negative, and it still negatively impacts me now, in all honesty. I still find it really difficult seeing the body weight come up. Even though I don't look awful, I'm not obese yet, which is nice. But I found it really difficult when it wouldn't change, like it would impact how I felt and how I was. But there's more to bodybuilding than scale weight. Like you can see drastic improvements in your physique without changing the weight at all. So that's something that's massive. But in terms of progression in the gym, like, training is so important to me that I didn't really let it take a back step. Like, eventually my body just broke down. Like, it did. I'd probably say around 30 weeks in before I started to see like actual deterioration in the numbers that I was hitting, and little injuries would pop up. Like, my hip was an issue, and those things were really challenging. But there's more to progression than just load, like, in terms of how things feel, matching things at lower body weights, incorporating different training techniques, having different emphasis, like different exercises. Like, there's so many different facets to training, and you can lean on certain things during certain times. So when you're in a surplus, it's very easy to just think, okay, I'll add reps, I'll add weight. Like, not necessarily think, oh, I'll clean up my technique, I'll make sure that I'm engaging these specific muscle groups properly. And to be fair, what I've been able to do post-prep in terms of nailing my execution and connecting with muscle groups so much better, it's been a revelation in terms of my own training and getting more out of each session. So I think I needed that. And if anything, like, that's a big win, that my training has actually improved since being in prep, because I just got more dialed in. I mean, fundamentally, the biggest thing is to be as patient as possible. We all want to see results as quickly as we can. And after 41 weeks, I got pretty good at being patient and not just trying to rush the process. And like I said, really trying to be in the moment and present with what's going on really helped me do that. And reinforcing that with positive habits. I'm not someone that loves to journal or anything, but doing this YouTube has massively helped me appreciate what I'm going through. I can look back at this, have that as my sense of like journaling and reflection, and then having real focus on the day-to-day. Like I said, checking boxes, making sure that you're nailing what you're supposed to be nailing, and then you can have some perspective. You can enjoy those good days where you feel good, because you know that you did everything you were supposed to do in the bad days. You're no longer working off mood, you're working off discipline, off routine, of genuinely being dedicated to the process and focused on progressing your physique. That's where it comes back to it being more mental warfare than any physical conquest. You know, it's huge in terms of nailing those things and being strong mentally, and making sure that you have the systems in place that it makes it difficult to miss, makes it difficult to fail. Like, you're in control of so much more than you think. And there are people who are in much tougher positions than me who are able to do even better than I did. I mean, like, fathers and people who are dealing with families and their own struggles. And don't get me wrong, that I had challenges outside of the bodybuilding stuff, but my life is pretty well set up to this routine, and fundamentally I love this lifestyle. It's a privilege to be able to do that, to be able to pursue your dream and have the support of people around you, even if you don't have the full support, or they don't fully understand it. Like, having people around you who care about you and want you to succeed, and then you are able to do them proud. Like, there's no real better feeling than that. And fundamentally do yourself proud. Like, it's huge. So don't waste the opportunity. It is a privilege, not a curse. No one's forcing you to do it. Bodybuilding is all a choice, and if you don't love the process, there's training hard, posing, like all these various things. I mean, posing is its whole other video. I mean, I haven't even touched on all the things that I've learned there, but I mean, fundamentally it all comes down to practice. But there are so many things that go into bodybuilding, and you don't have to love all of them, but you just have to not hate any of it. So that would be my biggest thing. It's a hell of a journey. It's a cool experience. Like, don't rush it, and and enjoy it as much as you can, and then control the controllables and make the most out of the experience. I've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. It's the end of the rookie season. It's the end of the rookie season officially. Like I said, it's growing time. Like, we've got 2 years of growing now. I'm super excited for it. Training's off to a fantastic start, and yeah, we'll continue to see some lovely progress. And yeah, I've got some videos lined up that I've sort of still been documenting. I just haven't been editing, so you'll see those soon enough. But I hope you've enjoyed this journey, and thank you for watching. Thank you for your support throughout the prep. It's meant the world to me, and yeah, I've appreciated every little comment, every view, every interaction, every DM. Like, it's been wicked. So yeah, I'll keep the videos coming. I'm excited to document this side of things, and like I say, it's something that I've enjoyed doing throughout prep, and it has felt like a privilege, not a curse. So yeah, I'll keep doing that. I've spoken for way too long, so yeah, I'll end that there.